So I'm really excited to be chatting to James McDonald from Silience Digital. And James and I met a few months ago at the digital marketing event where James was actually on a panel alongside me, and James and I connected. And I thought, let's have James on the marketing in the present as part of the campaign. And so thank you so much, James, for joining me.
No, thanks, Rucien. It's a pleasure to be here. It was great to meet you and be part of that panel. So, yeah, thanks for your time.
Only a pleasure. And I think it's always great for me to maybe do an introduction about you, James, and what you do. But I think it's maybe more effective if you do the introduction on your side and just to share a bit with our audience in terms of who are you, where you started, what your business and what your brand is all about.
Yeah, perfect. This is always the difficult part, actually selling yourself or talking about yourself sort of in the third person. But hi, I'm James. I'm the founder of Silience Digital. Silience means the unspoken act of everyday excellence. It's a term that I managed to find years and years ago, probably 10 years ago. And it just really resonated with me in terms of how I like to operate. So what Silience Digital does is we are a digital marketing business. I don't like to use the term agency because I think the agency model is shifting rapidly over the last couple of years. What we offer is search engine optimization, which I've been doing for more than 15 years. We also do paid media or performance marketing. And then the big one is we help businesses understand marketing strategy. So normally what we see is digital is treated as sort of an isolated channel or separate to the broader marketing function, and we try and sort of amalgamate digital into your broader marketing strategy and join the pieces of the puzzle together.
Lovely. Awesome, James. And thank you so much for that introduction. Now, you made mention that you've been 15 years in the industry, 15 years of experience. How have you gone about building this business and building this brand?
Wow, that is a very difficult question to answer. So I don't think there's a set blueprint that works for any new business or someone wanting to go on their own or build something. I think I was very fortunate that I could lean on a number of connections that were in the industry in some very senior roles. So either senior managers or even a number of founders as well. The piece of advice that everyone gave me was word of mouth is your strongest business builder. So there's no recipe for success to go out there and suddenly land clients, but everyone said to me, if you do good work and you provide value, the clients that you have will refer you to their network. And from there, it sort of multiplies out. So what I did is I went to my network, I leaned on them quite heavily, sort of without a sales pitch as such, but I just sort of said to people that I knew I could provide value to. I said, look, this is what I've done. I've got on my own. I've started my own business. This is where I have expertise and real expertise, not just saying I can do something for the sake of doing it. And this is how I think I can provide value to you. That sort of allowed me to sort of gather that snowball effect, land one client, get another referral, word of mouth, someone else connect me with someone else again, and sort of it built from there. Look, there is obviously the cold lead aspect to it as well. Fortunately, there's a couple of really good Facebook groups, mainly the Digital Media Club, and then also it's called The Resource. Those are two really good Facebook groups across the digital sphere where people are looking for certain resources or skills, and you can sort of jump in and make that cold connection.
Thank you so much, James, and really great to hear that you focused on word of mouth and really leaned into your service offering and focused on fine-tuning that. I think in today's time, we see a lot of content, the two of us, a lot of content out there in terms of these various strategies and tactics and running ads that you can implement to build your business. But you went the other route and you said, and it's a great lesson here for entrepreneurs and business owners, that word of mouth is really key. And so how do you achieve word of mouth? You achieve it through focusing on your product, focusing on your service offering, fine-tuning that, and just delivering good old plain and simple service, good old great service that allows clients to be happy and allowing them to refer. So I love that aspect and how you built your brand and business. So James, there's quite a few trends, from a SEO perspective, from a digital marketing perspective. Um, what do you say are a couple of the trends for the year 2025? Would you say is perhaps maybe important for a business owner or for an entrepreneur to take into account when it comes to their marketing? You can share maybe one or two that you think is going to be important for them to take note of.
Yeah, look, I think the one that everyone's going to mention is around AI. So I'll tackle that from two angles. So the first one is everyone's sort of worrying and saying, "Oh, is AI going to replace my job or my role, or how can I build a business or offer a service when other businesses or potential clients can just use AI to replace what I can potentially offer?" And I go back to a very simple sort of thought around, if you provide a skill or something of measurable value, I think that is never going to be an issue for you as long as you provide value. If you are providing a service that is essentially duplication or replication of work, I think that's where AI really is going to start to eat your lunch, so to speak. But then to take on AI from the other side is just around, as a small business owner, there are so many incredible tools or services that are AI related that you can now use to essentially grow your business. So if I look, let's just talk around copywriting, potentially writing short form copy, producing persona research, leveraging AI to combine long form PDFs and extract data. So there's loads of ways that you can leverage AI to assist in your business, both for yourself, your own business, the growth of your own business, and then also to sort of facilitate the growth of the clients that you have. Again, I think you've just got to be very careful because AI, it's not perfect. It's going to make mistakes, potential language issues, etc. But if you use it in the intent that it was developed for, to assist you rather than take over the thinking, i.e., the actual value work, I think you'll be fine.
Lovely. Awesome. I like those tips that you shared there. And yeah, coming back once again, I think it ties into your word of mouth is the aspect of value and really zoning in on the value that you provide to clients and how important that is. And so when you provide value to someone, you will keep on going to that, you will keep on going to that shop, you will keep on going to that business, you'll keep on going to that gas station because you know there's value over there. So, James, I know you're involved in quite a few things, and I would like you maybe to share if there is anything else that you are maybe busy with, something that is maybe on the horizon, that we can maybe look forward to in the future. Is this anything that's perhaps maybe a seed at the moment that you are wanting to plant?
Look, my business is only just over a year old, so that is my baby at the moment. Anyone that says being an entrepreneur is easy uh, clearly found the secret to success, the fountain of youth, so to speak. All of my focus at the moment is just building out a business that is not dependent on myself, and carrying the values of Silience, i.e., the unspoken act of everyday excellence, carrying that through into every service or every client that we meet and deal with. Entrepreneurship is very demanding. There's lots of learnings along the way that, as much as you like to read and learn and speak to other people, there's some things that you just need to learn through experience. There's quite a few hardships in that sense, but my focus is just on providing the best value service for my clients, and therefore growing that sort of word of mouth referral.
Perfect. Lovely. Thank you so much, James, for that. And I think a great lesson there for many business owners and entrepreneurs is to continue to focus on your value and incorporate the value into your service, into your product offerings. James, if there's quickly a tip or a marketing tip that you would give for a business owner, entrepreneur, what would that be?
Wow. Look, I think if you're looking to start your own thing as an agency or a service offering, I think the one thing is to not forget to market and build your own business, not just service your clients. I think that's one that's often gets forgotten about. And then as a business owner, I think the biggest mistake that I see is not properly understanding your market. So where is it that you want to play in, and how are you going to win in that space? So it's not just it's not enough to just have an idea and say, I've got this idea, I'm going to go launch a business and I'm going to go be successful, make loads of money. The real value, or the real element that unlocks value and growth in a business, is really understanding what area you're going to play in and how you're going to differentiate and therefore win in that space. And a lot of the time I see businesses focusing on their product rather than the why. So they focus on the what instead of the why, around how to actually steal a market or steal market shares, grow a business, and essentially provide enough of a differentiator to actually steal market share away and be different in a very, very competitive space at the moment. At the moment, it's never been easier to find an idea, find a product, launch an e-commerce store, throw a little bit of money at some ads, write some content, and think, fantastic, I've got a business. It takes a lot more upfront to define your strategy, and then more importantly, stick to your strategy and provide long-term growth.
Perfect. I love that. Thank you so much, James. Very insightful, knowledgeable, and skillful individual here that I met a few months ago. And really happy, James, once again to have had you here on the Marketing in the Present. I wish you well with your success for your business. I'll continue to follow you online, and wishing you all the best for the year 2025.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Rucien. Thanks for your time, and I wish you and your business the same.
Thank you, James.